want a ticket straight to them pearly gates.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the amazing things that's going on for Tekken now, in the future, and way in the future. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video. I always appreciate that. I'm just going to dive right into it. The character Fahkumram. A lot of people were thrown for a loop when this character was released. We thought season 2 was for sure cooked, especially when you had the rumors that Marlock was coming next. Players were sick to their stomach. But the Marlock trailer, in my opinion, it looks pretty good. His release date for those who have early access will be the 7th. For everyone else, it will be the 10th. And as a fun fact, his release date is actually about 2 weeks sooner than Lydia was. Lydia released on July 25th, so he is cutting that time down a little bit. That's a promise that the developers made, was to not only reveal these characters faster, but release them faster. And them bringing Fahkumram's release date up a little bit and also bringing Armor King's up a little bit is them staying true to that promise. Now, as for the Pac-Man stage, and surprisingly, we have not seen any new footage since its initial reveal. I was expecting to get a glimpse of it in the Fahkumram trailer, but they showed us nothing. What I think they could do that would be really interesting is just give us a small sample of like a Fahkumram gameplay, maybe some Oki, maybe a combo, but demonstrate it on the new stage. So you're marketing the character Fahkumram, you're also marketing the new stage, and it's just something exciting for the players to interact with while we wait for the character to release. This is something that Street Fighter does, and they do it to perfection, where they lead up to the character's actual launch with a lot of promotion. So if there is a developer listening, that's my one suggestion to make this whole thing just a little bit more spicier. Now, as for Fahkumram's official render, we have a look at it here, and yeah, he's Fahkumram. He's tall, he's handsome, and also his back is arched like crazy. Ayo. We also get a look at his 3 other outfits. It's pretty simple because, you know, Fahkumram is basically like a Muay Thai type of guy. You have his Tekken 7 outfit, which looks slightly different from his Tekken 8, but then you also have his costume 2, which is like the default, but the colors is more purples than the bluish that he normally has. And then the most interesting of all the outfits is his costume 3, where he has this kind of like Thailand armor type. I think this is a big step up from the alternate outfit he had in Tekken 7. Boy, could I not stand that outfit. I thought it was terrible, but this one, it looks really cool. And once players are able to customize it and change the colors of it, I know they're going to be cooking. They also released a bio for Fahkumram, and some players are speculating that we will get a story DLC because of this. Another one. If you haven't seen the video that I did on Fahkumram about his story and his background, I suggest you go back to watch that and then continue with this video so you can understand where his story is picking up from. But it says he thought he would be allowed to participate in a tournament, but for some reason he was never given the order by the military. The truth of the matter was that the executives, blinded by a large amount of bribes, made secret arrangements with the remnants of Mishima Zaibatsu on their own initiatives in order to elevate the Bears to a representative of South Asia and Oceania bloc. Now, the fact that they say the remnants of the Mishima Zaibatsu, this sounds like they're in a weird way referring to Reina and also Kuma and Heihachi, because you know Reina's throne is Mishima Zaibatsu, Kuma has the Mishima Zaibatsu fish, and then Heihachi, he is the Mishima Zaibatsu. Jin kind of tried to change it into something else, but there's still a large portion out there that follows Heihachi, Reina, and Kuma. Now, are those 3 characters playing a role in what Fahkumram is doing and they're interfering in his story? This is what players is asking. The quote says, "As long as the war lasts, I will keep your wife and children alive. The longer the conflict lasts, the more Mishima Zaibatsu will continue to bribe us." Angered by his self-serving, vile plans, Fahkumram is determined to remain steadfast in his only remaining life. A quote, this is from Fahkumram, it says, "I will not hesitate to take the lives of others in order to save the lives of my wife and daughter. I'm going to the incarnation of an angry Grajua." I don't know what that's supposed to be. It says Fahkumram climbs into the military's newly developed ejection assault weapon and quietly closes his eyes. Thailand's final weapon is now being sent into the battlefield. So this is where the idea comes full circle, where you have this part here talking about the remnants of the Mishima Zaibatsu, possibly referring to Reina, Heihachi, and Kuma, but then also you have him being dropped into the battlefield where we know Brian Fury is operating and causing chaos. The main question that a lot of players are asking is, will we get a story DLC for Season 2? I honestly don't know, and I can't say. If you talk about the roadmap that we were given for Season 2, it only covers half of the year. The Season 1 roadmap covered all the way to the end of the year, and we got to see a lot of what Tekken 8 had to offer. But this one, surprisingly, only goes up until summer. So we have no clue what the developers are planning to do for October, December, November, January. We don't know. Me personally, I would much rather them put those resources into something else other than the story DLC. But if they chose to go that route as well, I know a lot of players will be happy. So it is what it is. Now, as for the character Armor King, them teasing him at Combo Breaker, that was a major surprise and the internet loved it. He was trending number 12 on Twitter, and the reactions across the player base was magnificent. There are some people who's upset because they feel like Tekken 8 is just continuously recycling DLC, and for people who don't really have this strong connection to Armor King, they see him no different than they see Anna. Regardless of the fact, for those of you who don't know, the reason why Armor King is the color purple is because his theme color in Tekken 7 was also purple as well. Now, one interesting thing to note about him is that Armor King had like a purple mist type of thing that he would spit out, kind of like Yoshimitsu, kind of like Nina Williams. But in Tekken 8, it seems like that purple mist is being changed for fire, at least in his intro. So we'll have to see how they decide to incorporate purple into his actual design. Because I mean, if we go back to Fahkumram, Fahkumram's color was blue, but even in the trailer alone, he was still doing a lot of like red lightning type of behaviors. So it seems like the character colors aren't totally in line with the character effects that we're seeing on screen. I guess that just makes it a little bit more interesting when we're playing the guessing game. A full reveal for Armor King is set to happen at Evo Vegas. Evo Vegas is the turn from the start of Season 2 to the end of Season 2, and this is where the doors will be opened to anything that the developers may want to show us there. Speaking of which, the final character. We know that this will be a totally brand new character. It will not be a guest character. It will not be a returning character. This will be a brand new character. And players are predicting that this character may actually be Marduk's replacement. The first reason why is because the colors. The colors of the final character of Season 2 matches up perfectly with Marduk. The second reason why people think that this is Marduk is because of his connection with Armor King. For those of you who don't know, their story in Tekken 7 was that they would fight one final time. And if Marduk wins, Armor King would take off his mask. And I don't know if you noticed, but Armor King is still wearing the mask. If Armor King wins, Marduk would retire. Now, if Armor King did actually beat Marduk, and now Marduk has retired, but we still see his data in the game, we see the color scheme matching, one could say that the arrows are pointing to a Marduk type of replacement. The only reason why I don't fully believe this is because does it make sense for Marduk to have a protege type character? I know this is something that fighting game players always say. It's like, give this person a secret son, a secret daughter, a secret student, but I think sometimes that idea is stretched way too far, and for Marduk to have some secret protege pop up out of nowhere with a vendetta against Armor King, not only is that like a goofy story, but it doesn't even fall in line with who Marduk is. If they want to put Marduk in the game, I simply say put him in the game, and if they want to make this new character something totally new, I say do that as well.